what is that? Back to the Future? Is that what I just did?
Yes.
All right, so thanks for coming. We're glad you're here and we're able to make it. We've got quality rather than quantity, and that's always a good thing. We'll start off our meeting with agenda item number 1, which is always approval of minutes from our last meeting, and that was the Thursday, May 25th meeting. And that was 2017, even though the agenda talks about that happening 2 years ago. I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes from our regular public meeting on Thursday, May 25th.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Great, and so the motion is on the floor. Did you guys get a chance to scan through it like I did? Did you see anything that you felt needed to be edited or changed, added or deleted in any way, shape, or form? Very good, you did not. All those in favor of approving the minutes as written, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, very good.
One down.
He was having comment today. Sure. He was helping comment. I'm just catching him up on the police department.
I'm just waving to my buddy in the back row there. Mr. Bennett. All right, thank you. On to the next agenda item, which is an update. We really don't have any update items for our list today, but we do have some upcoming meetings we'll go ahead and announce, and that is Thursday, June 22nd is our next meeting here at 4 p.m. right here in this room. Our July meetings are Thursday, July 13th and Thursday, July 27th at 4 p.m. Right here in the same room. And our meeting room will also be the location for our August meetings, which are Thursday, August 10th and Thursday, August 24th at 4 p.m. as well. Put those on your calendar and we hope you can join us for those meetings coming up. Next item on the agenda is public comments. Any public comments in the room for this first public comment item? Yes, Joyce.
I'd like to make a comment regarding Jackson Falls. Is that okay?
Sure.
Any comment?
And I kind of want to read it because I can stay on point if I do. The fence and the wood chips that have been installed at Jackson Falls by the Conservation Committee were necessitated by overuse. I suppose this is my opinion, but I did ask the Conservation Committee as well. So overuse and careless use. At additional expense, a porta potty has now been added for the convenience of tourists. Instead of discouraging overuse, we have now made it easier for tourists to come and stay for the day. I object to spending my tax money, our tax money, for the benefit of people from out of town. Parking at Chicora Lake is for residents only, Eaton for residents only, and I would like to suggest that parking at the falls be made for Jackson residents only. That's my comments.
Okay. Response, Dick or John?
Well, we talked about making it exclusive a number of years ago. And I think it's hard because it is one of the natural attractions of Jackson. If you only allow residents to park there, I don't know, one, how successful that will be, because then you have, somebody standing guard duty. You know, if you go down to Crystal Lake, they have a residents only at the beach down there, but they have somebody in booth, and they're watching for, resident stickers. And as far as, the use, it's really, it's like life is moving on. There's more and more people everywhere. And though I don't say that we should encourage people to come in there, I think we're gonna have to deal with it. People are coming. It's just like the porta potty, well, people are heading out. We had one letter about how would you like to have an outhouse in the middle of your flower garden? Well, how do you justify having some little kid pull his pants down and have a bowel movement in the middle of your flower garden?
Yeah, I understand.
You know, so here we are. I mean, I think that the porta potty does deal with it. We've had some pushback on its location. I have to say, I came down from the Eagle, missed it the first, I was driving, so I wasn't concentrating on the side of the road. I missed it. And I get down to the bottom and I said, well, no, I wanted to see that. And I turned around, and I went up slowly, and then, oh, there it is. And I didn't think that it was obtrusive at all, but I listened to the comments and the slamming door. Boy, those folks are really happy there's no pickleball in there, because they would have been listening to the slamming pickleballs. But anyway, so maybe, I'd say we're not gonna jump, but let's try it here. It seems to be, it was a pretty good location, but it impacts the pavilions. Try it for a while. Maybe move it down to where the handicap is, I don't know. But, you know, it's in motion. The whole thing at the falls is in motion. But, you know, I don't think we can keep people out.
John?
As well said, Dick, I really don't have anything to add to that. I think the Diana's Bath thing is a perfect example. I mean, they had basically no area. They built that lot that exists now, and you build it, they will come, and then it started filling the roadway, and now they're to a point where they're ticketing. I think we're going to have a natural maximum that the falls is going to hold because of the parking issue itself. Obviously, I don't want to deter residents from using it.
They don't use it.
I know, I don't use it anymore. I mean, as a kid, I used to all the time, but I don't use it anymore myself. But it is accessible if you get there. I mean, you do have to beat the crowd if there is a crowd, but that's an unfortunate aspect of the fact that we have some natural beauty that people want to take advantage of. And I certainly did as a kid, and still do occasionally. I like to get out there, but there are more people coming up, and it's only so big. And I guess when it does overflow, we'll probably have to be a point when we're going to ticket. And be serious about that. But I can't see, making residents only. I really can't. I don't think, I don't think we use that much, first of all. But, and again, you gotta hire somebody who's gonna have to sit there and monitor, whether it's the police or somebody, somebody's gonna have to monitor.
Police driving by might be adequate
So.
on their patrols.
Yeah.
I wonder if, I don't know, I mean, should I canvass people in town,
Yeah.
Did your hand go up, B?
Yeah.
I mean, good.
Go ahead.
Tourism is your biggest industry in the state.
Absolutely.
Let's face it. And we are a tourist town. And if you live here, you don't go in season. Do you go out to dinner Saturday night? Not unless you're foolish. I mean, you just don't. I mean, you learn to live with it. You should have been in Volvo.
I was.
Well, it's the same thing, but I mean, you just can only do so much.
But you can mitigate things.
Yeah.
And change.
It's like motorcycle week's coming up. Henry Longneck, I hated it. I said, Henry, get over it. It's 1 week to go on.
Yeah.
It's just something. When they had the beans over the Eagle Mountain House, I could sit on the back porch and hear them. We have a wedding next door every weekend. It's just life.
Fortunately.
But it is.
I know.
When we bought Mountain, they used to make them park on one side of the road. They used to park up to my driveway. But you had one side park, and if you parked on the other side, you got out. It's just bad life.
Any other comments on the topic? Go ahead, Stan.
I don't think the lack of a porta potty would keep people away, would keep tourists away. It would cause people to behave differently I mean, they have to do what they have to do, and they'll do it without a porta potty. That's my feeling. I mean, I do. If I have to go to the bathroom and there's no porta potty, what are you gonna do? You know, I don't think a lot of people might say, well, there's no porta potty, I'm not going to the falls, but.
No, they go across the road and
They go
head
where
for
they
the
go,
bushes.
that's right.
Work for the state, you know where they go with diapers.
Okay. All right, well, excellent comments. Thank you all for providing us with your input. Appreciate it. Moving on, we are at the building inspector's report. Front and center.
Dun, 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 dun. 25, 26, 27, 28, and 29.
How's it going, Mr. Bennett?
Very good.
Excellent. What have you got for a weekly report for
Let's
us?
see. We have 4 new building permits and 1 renewal.
Okay.
And let's see, 193 Main Street, we have a brand new railing on the deck. And 101 Sugar Hill Lane, we have a new kitchen going in and some other major renovations, it looks like tonight. Some windows, living room, kitchen, replacing floors.
Mhm.
No new bedrooms.
No, hopefully not. And then 162 Moody Farm Road. We're enlarging the kitchen, rearranging the bath. And let me see, 28 Beach Hill Road is a renewal on a building permit, and that was for a deck on the house. Well, it was actually a roof-type deck, yeah, it's kind of a flat roof on the house, and they're still gonna get the railings on there.
Are they just not moving ahead with it? Why do they need a,
No, I think, I don't know if you've seen the house, it was that house that was 5 stories tall. You
oh,
know what I'm talking about, that one there?
yeah.
It was built back in the sometime late 70s, I think. But anyway, it's just to get up to that point, it's a nightmare. So they had a rubber membrane roof and it was leaking, so they redid that. And now they're working on installing the railing.
Probably was a can of wormage. Open something up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Just getting the materials down, he had to make up a pulley system and like a crane on the side of the house and to get stuff back up there. What a project. And then 127 Iron Mountain Road, that was a Class 6 road. It's a new addition to the home. And we got all the paperwork done and got the, I don't know, was it a waiver or? That's the word I'm looking for. Get the paperwork done, so we're all set now. And that's about it, the town, really.
Waiver of municipal liability.
There it
That's
is.
it, yeah, exactly. Official document.
There you go.
Dun, dun,
And
dun, dun.
if you've been by the Wentworth, you see that roof structure there, that's going up Monday, the crane's coming Monday. So we're gonna move it, gonna do 2 moves, move it once close to the building, reset the crane, and lift it and put it up on top. So that'll be exciting.
Will the police, have they asked for the police?
Yes, police are involved, yep.
Excellent. John, any questions or comments? for
Thank you,
Kevin?
Brian.
No?
Covered.
Beautiful.
Thanks,
All
John.
right, thank you.
Appreciate it.
New business.
So, new business, first order of business is a report of cut. And this is for the Jackson Ski Touring Foundation. And an amount for timber tax cut. And so I'll entertain a motion to approve the report of cut.
So moved.
Second?
And that is map and lot R12, 620B1, map and lot R10, 416, and map and lot R4, 57A1. So, any questions, anything else on this?
Is this trail work or are they opening up
They had a contract, I haven't read through the whole thing on to what I think they put in a new trail. Because it was on forest land.
Well, the amounts,
The way that is calculated on there isn't normally how it's done, but Don Johnson reviewed it, and they've already paid a certain amount to the Forest Service for the contract, and so Don said pay 10% of that, so that's how I kind of had to fiddle with it.
yeah.
All those in favor?
All right?
Aye.
Yes.
Two spots.
Two spots. I
Really
didn't
matter.
follow the
Learning.
pink sticky thing.
No, I'll forget that. Thank you.
Do they make blue ones? I like
I don't
blue.
know. I think a lot of these come with assorted colors. Well, yeah, they do make blue. There's one coming up.
Ah,
All right, next up is a trustees of the trust fund withdrawal request. And so I will seek a motion to withdraw the following amounts from the trust funds. $788.88 from the Police Department Equipment Expendable Trust Fund 0051. And that money will go to Axon Enterprise, Inc., and it is dated, the invoice is dated 5/26/17, as well as an $8,350 withdrawal from the Wentworth Wildcat Fund 0029, Article 11, see attached, and that will go to Eastern Green, Inc., for an invoice dated May 18th, 2017, and May 19th, 2017. Anyone care to make that motion?
is that the
That's the
fencing?
fence, yeah. And they had 10,000 on the warrant, so a little under budget on that.
I'll move.
Second?
Okay, any questions or concerns about either one of those withdrawals before we vote? Okay, all those in favor, say aye.
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 Good.
So there are 3 of those spots.
Okay.
More than one signature?
The cemetery one, I added another one, so there.
Yeah, we've got, next up, under new business, we've got a total of 3 cemetery lot agreements to approve today, and they're all for the, well, 2 are for the village cemetery and 1's for Dundee. And so I'll just entertain a motion to approve a cemetery lot agreement paid for by Beth Dyer for lot 748A in the village cemetery, and a lot agreement paid for by Laura Beck for lot 489A and B, lots 489A and B in the village cemetery. And then I've got one here paid for by Lorraine Stone for lot 207 in the Dundee cemetery. And I'll entertain a motion to approve those.
So moved.
Second?
And so we've got all 3 of them here. Either one of you have any questions, anything you'd like to say about any one of them before we vote? Okay, all those in favor of approving those 3 cemetery lot requests, say aye.
Aye.
All right, very good. start you with one, I'll start you with two.
Pink and blue.
Yeah.
Joyce has a question.
Yeah,
What was the item B, what was that fence for? Was that the cemetery or something else?
no, Jackson Falls. That was the warrant article. Yeah. Yeah, voters appropriated $10,000 for that, so it was in a little under budget. I think they ran into fewer posts that they were gonna need to spike in, which you never know what you're gonna hit for ledge, so, yeah. Let me move on here to old business, which we have none, and then we can go right to public comments. Be your hands
I have a
up.
question on
Yeah.
cemeteries. Years ago, since you used to have to be a resident of Jackson to be buried here, is that true still or not?
I think it might be still true.
I'm just asking.
I think the way it words is you have to be a resident of Jackson or have a family member who lives in Jackson, of your immediate
Well, I
family.
was just
Yeah.
curious.
Yeah,
And
believe,
you just contact the cemetery committee.
right.
That's what I want to know.
More public comments? John?
I was just thinking about what we talked about before, possibility, and it's not to, think about, something to think about anyways, is that, you could possibly maybe have a section that would be for Jackson residents only. Maybe have a certain number of spots that, are reserved just for Jackson residents. Now, I don't know if that would have to be approved in a warrant article or something like that, but that might be a possibility.
But
That way, at least we have a couple spots.
Nobody wants to be buried in Dundee, but I do.
You're talking about the falls?
I'm talking about the falls, back to the falls. I'm talking about the falls, not
No,
Dundee.
I was talking about the cemetery.
You're never gonna die, Dee.
It's a temple, but I was wondering because.
Yeah, does that make, is that,
Well, I don't know, John, any modification I think might be beneficial, at least in a part. We don't go to the fall, as B said, you don't go out to eat on Saturday night, but on the other hand, I don't want to go to the falls in the winter.
Right.
I want to go now.
when it's hot on Saturday, right?
And,
But that may, I'm just throwing it out as a
well,
possibility.
I appreciate, I
Just thinking about
appreciate the
that.
thought. By whose authority does that happen? Do you
What?
know, do you as selectmen have the authority to say that? Or does it have to come, as you say, through a warrant?
Are you talking about the fence?
No.
No,
Or-
no.
No, I'm talking about additional spaces, limiting, have a few spaces for
Oh.
Jackson residents or something. Who
That's a
would-
good question.
I could find out.
We'll
Thank you, John.
appoint John as the head of the committee and he can. All those in favor? No, it's a good question. I don't know how, it's like, the ideas we come up with, how feasible are they? How doable are they? And, I can tell you that the porta potty is up there as a response to requests that have been made by this town. And so, I think the chamber might have a different view than people here. We want to attract business, we want to find balance, there's no question about it. We're open to considering anything we do. If we don't get it right, and the porta potty that's down here is a perfect example. We got feedback that felt that it wasn't in the best location, and we reconsidered it, and we moved forward. Especially porta potties. They're never permanent, right? So, but at the same time, we feel like it was also a response to residents up there that were sick and tired of having, their property being used as a porta potty. And
I know that.
how do you find the balance? It's elusive. One person's low intensity use is another person's high intensity use, and so you're certainly not going to compare Jackson Falls with Diana's Bath and say that Jackson Falls is high intensity at this day and age. But we recognize that there are people that come to visit in this valley now in droves compared to 10, 15, 20 years ago. I mean, you drive up and down the strip and you count the number of rooms available, and the valley gets mobbed at certain times. And so is it responsible to just expect to have them relieve themselves in the river? Or hold it, or get in their car and drive it away and come back to a parking spot that's now taken by somebody else? How does this all work? How do we provide, amenities for people that come and spend money in our town, and what should we consider and what should we ignore? These aren't questions that have, easy answers, but we do our best, and if we're getting it wrong, we'll be happy to, take a look at things. The location for the porta potty, the layout of the fence, those were all done with Selectmen and road agent input, along with the Conservation Commission. We all met up there with the landscaping company that put in the fence, and we walked through and we said, this looks good, that looks good, let's try this, let's do that. And this is going to help with erosion, and this is going to protect our resource, and this is going to provide for the people that are up here using it that deserve some of these things. But I think at the end of the day, clearly the fence was approved by the voters at the town meeting when they approved the warrant article, and and it was all in response to what was going on up there, that people felt like they had ways that we could improve on what we had and protect, one of our greatest assets here in this town. So. Dick, John, anything more to add?
Negative.
More comments here in the public comment section? Joyce.
I'm full of comments today, I guess. I would like to see, like we used to do, I'd like to see the different departments report at selectmen's meetings. I think it's valuable, and I think it's great to have it in the record. Just my comment.
Thank you. Any other public comments? B.
On Gray's Inn, the side facing Flossie's, there's a piece of material that's cockeyed. It's been that way for quite a while. Could it be fixed?
Raising garage.
Yeah.
All right.
It's on the side of the building.
We'll pass it along. Thank you. Okay. Next item on the agenda is a non-public session. We'll cite RS